Hey, welcome to the fourth episode of this podcast. This episode will only be available in English, as I told you last week. I want to try just to put it in English so that my mind is still fluid in English because that's how I think these days. So I will tell you all the stories only in English. Don't hesitate to tell me if there is anything that is not clear, if I have any pronunciation problem that you have with me. So that if I don't pronounce well, or if I have words that you don't understand, or if you want a French version, don't hesitate to tell me. I can do it. It's not a problem. So today, as I told you, I'm late. We are Monday. I'm sorry about that. But this episode will be really, really interesting because I have three stories that are all really interesting compared to the episode I've made before, because they are full and like it's not just a thing, a thought I had, or a little anecdote. It's really a full story. So I think this episode would be good for you. Let's dive in. So the first story I want to talk to you about is the interview I had on Monday morning. So so it's been like 2 weeks, something like that. 2 weeks ago, I sent an email to a company in Saint-Brieuc, which had an offer for I would say apprenticeship, which is not really the term in English, but like this is the term I will use to talk about une alternance. The switch from French and English is amazing. So I would say apprenticeship, even if this is not the right term in English because I don't have this kind of thing. So yeah, they had an offer for an apprenticeship during the next year of like 2025-2026, and they are working on the subject is web development. It's at Saint-Brieuc. It's only for a year, and for someone that is doing his third year for the degree of computer science, which is like exactly me, and a lot of people, but like it was really a good fit for what I was looking for me. So I sent them an email. For the first week, they didn't answer at all, so I sent them another mail, and the guy to which I was sending mail answered me and said, "Yeah, in fact, your CV was interesting, but I was just waiting for all the HR stuff to be done so that I can confirm to you that yes, we will have this interview or not." So by the end of last week, I knew I had an interview with this guy for this apprenticeship, and it was on Monday morning. It was on Monday morning at 9 a.m. for me, so 10 a.m. in France. And so it was quite stressful. Like in the morning, as I usually do, I went to the gym and things like that. But I came back around like 7:30, something like that. So I had an hour and a half basically to get ready for the interview and like know my stuff about the company if it was necessary to be able to tell what I'm doing, what I would love to what I would love to work in this company, and all this stuff, this basic stuff. And so I worked on that. The funny thing is that I asked ChatGPT about the company, and like I just went into a conversation with ChatGPT to like get ready for the interview, and it worked quite well because I knew the stuff I wanted to say, stuff I needed to know, and all that stuff. So it was like really, um, I was really prepared, and like oh, I was ready half an hour before the interview. And from that moment, I was just like stressed about what will happen during this interview. So I just went like walking in my room in a circle, just like, okay, it will be good, everything is right. Um, and I just waited 30 minutes like this. I think I didn't even listen to music or to a podcast. I was just waiting for the time to arrive. So 9 a.m. arrived. I joined the call, the team call, Microsoft Teams call that he sent me via a link, and he wasn't there already. So I just waited. I've just waited until like 9:05, something like that, where I joined too, and we started talking about me being at Cardiff, what I went, why I went there, what I was doing, things like that, all that stuff. And it was really free. Like it wasn't the cold thing we can think about in an interview. It was like, hey, yeah, what are we doing? And like he made some jokes, so it was really a good environment to have just a little chat about the interview and what I will be doing if they wanted me to be there. And so really it was good. Like it wasn't a cold conversation. So I really loved like during the interview the fact that he was like making jokes and wasn't like just evaluating if I was a good fit for the company. He Yeah, I don't know why, but it felt like he was it was looking for a human rather than a machine that could do the work he wanted to say he wanted to make. So it was really great. So we talked about Cardiff here. We talked about the company that was acquired some years ago, what they were doing, things like that. And it's really interesting. They are working on like softwares that helps nutrition and medicine companies to fit their products by the law of like Europe's French law and all the other countries in Europe. So that, for example, if you take something like C vitamin, like the little pills of C vitamins, you will see on the notice all the small information. These are like required by the law to be on this notice. So you had to write them here in the UK, for example, but maybe not in France, maybe not in Croatia, and things like that. So their software is helping all this company to know exactly what to write on which notice for which country, basically. And like it's really interesting because this is something that is like hidden from us, the customers. You know, it's only like between the governments and the company, but not and the companies, but not with the customers at all. So you will you obviously learn a lot of things in working in that field, even if you're working in like software development, but you will obviously learn about what you're coding about, obviously. And so um and so it was really interesting. He told me he was there for like several years already, and the stuff he wanted like to do during next year is a test platform. So like it's a platform where you can just like run a command, and the command will start a lot of tests, a bunch of tests on the software you're making, so that if you add a new features, so for example, if you add the last law that been passed by the French government about this kind of medicine, if that law required a new a new a new line on their notice, you have to ensure that when you add it to the program, to software, it doesn't break anything that is already installed. So, for example, all those rules should still be working. But if you add a new rule, but it breaks all the other ones, it's bad for all your clients and things like that. And this is why you need to have some tests that you can run to ensure everything is still working well and the new feature is working well. And so for every new feature, you have a bigger test platform. And so the best way to do it is to have a command, like you just run the command and it will launch all the tests. And at the end, you know if your software is ready to be published, like in production, or if it should be worked on so that it's sure to work well. I don't know if it's clear. Well, in fact, this is what he wants to do during the next year. And so we talked about that, what we can use, like what technology we can use to make it work and say like that. It was really, really interesting. And so at the end of the interview, he told me that he was like, that my profile was interesting and that he would like me to go to the company next year. And I was like, yeah, I know, but like Cardiff is good. And my supervisor, when I asked him if I can like go to the office later so that I can be at the interview, he told me, yes, of course you can, no problem for that. But like, don't you want to come back next year? It would be really interesting, like to have you another time for another internship. And I was like, yeah, but I will get paid with the internship. With the internship, it's different because it will be only for 3 months, like it will be for a year. It's things like that. And so right now I know that I would rather go to the apprenticeship than another internship here. But I think I think after the degree, I think it will be really interesting to come back to Cardiff. Just to live in that like UK space, and this kind of stuff, because it's really, really good to be there. But yeah, I had an interview. It went quite well, which I'm really happy about. I have another meeting with the HR on next Tuesday, so not tomorrow, not the 6th, but the 13th. So I will be able to give you updates on that in 2 weeks. And yeah, that's good. That's really good. I'm really happy with that because it's at Saint-Brieuc, which, for those who know, means that I will probably be able to go to Eva more regularly. But this is another stuff. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. I will probably be in an apprenticeship next year, and that's great. That's really great. So this was the first story. It has always been sorry. It's already been 15 minutes that I'm talking. I still have 2 stories. When I told you it was quite a big episode, it really is, because I have a lot of things to say. And even more with the next story, which is titled, I Have a Conversation Problem. So, to give you I will give you the context later, I think. Like, the problem I have, in my opinion, is that in a conversation with someone that I don't really know, or even with someone that I know, but like not really deep or for a long time, which means that we don't have a lot of subject to talk about or something like that. I really struggle to find subjects to talk about in face to face more than by like chats on social media or something like that. Like in real life, when we're talking, a lot of times, I don't know if it's only me. It's probably not only me, of course, but like I feel like it's not fluid, and like the person asks me something, I answer. I ask them, like I return the question if it's like appropriate. And after that, I can't find a way to say something and to have a question. I don't know why. But I really have this thing where I'm just like here. I'm like, hey, what could we talk about? I don't know, to be honest. And so this is like the problem I feel like I have, because it's been like I felt for like this for years, and I don't have like a way to change that. Even if I have like some models for that, because for example, Laura, that you all know, a friend of mine, uh, really doesn't have this problem. Like she can talk to whoever she wants, however she wants, and so there will be a discussion. There will be something interesting, and she will be liked at the end of the conversation. Obviously, like this is really her superpower, in my opinion, and I don't have this. And like I'm like, yeah, but how do you find something to talk about? How do you find a subject which is common to both of you, to talk about, say like that? And I realized that during this week, because on Thursday, the 1st of May, so it was a bank holiday for you, it wasn't for me. We don't have, well, we have something like the 1st of May here, which is like the first Monday of the month of May. This is the bank holiday for the work Labor Day. And this is why I can make the podcast right now on Monday and not be like at the office, actually. So on Thursday, the 1st of May, I had kind of a networking event around cybersecurity, which was called Cymru SOC. So Cymru, Cymru, which means Wales in Welsh, the language talked in Welsh, spoke in Welsh, sorry. And SOC for it's something around cybersecurity. I don't remember exactly what it means, but it's something like that. And so if you probably have seen that in my story where I post like a little card I had with my name, intern, Cyber Innovation Hub, and a QR code and all that stuff. And this was for this event. And so during this event, there was a lot of speaker. There were a lot of speaker where people will come explain the situation, what they are doing in their company, how their company faced, for example, a cybersecurity attack, how they react or how they protect their things and things like that. Okay, and so it was from like 9 a.m. sorry, to 5, something like that. And there was always a talk, but at the end there was like an hour to just like talk with the other persons in the room and just like share your opinion, your work, and things like that. And in fact, the interesting thing was that during the event, you were at a table of eight to 10 people, something like that, quite a big table, round table, and it's quite impossible that it was only your team on the table, which means that you had to share the table with another team or another people, other people that were coming to the event. So you kind of had to like talk about what was happening, what you understood, what the question you had, with new people. And it happened. I was on a table. We were 5 on the team currently, and I was on a I was on the right side, and there was someone behind me on my right, and we started talking. The fun fact is that when I told her I was a French intern to like the Cyber Innovation Hub, she was like, "Oh, you're French! Oh, my grandmother is French." And we started talking about a bit about the fact that her grandmother lived in Calais, and the fact that like she had good knowledge about the French language, but she doesn't know anything now because she lives in the UK and she doesn't practice and things like that. And it was really interesting, but I didn't start the conversation. She started the conversation. I didn't have a lot of questions. I didn't have a lot of questions about what she was doing or why she was there, things like that. All these questions went further when she started talking with one of my colleagues in the team. They started talking, and this person had the good questions to ask, and like it went well between them. Like, she doesn't hate me obviously, but like she bonded more with him than me, and it was really really interesting to find like to notice all the questions he had, and that how she reacted to the questions and things like that. And I was like, oh fuck, I really doesn't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. I'm making a lot of mistakes in my English. It's horrible. I realize them as soon as I make them. It's horrible. Anyway, and so I'm like, okay, this is a skill. Like, I can improve my skill in conversation, but how? And so I thought about that during the rest of the week, and I was like, okay, I think that when I'm in a conversation, that's in fact we'll go a little bit deep in the subject, because this is like the full honest chain of thoughts that I had. Okay, so I was like, okay, when I'm in conversation, I don't have a lot of questions, because when they ask me something, I think about my answer and I answer them. But like, I kept reflecting on my answer and what I said. Like, I answer the question and I'm like, okay, how did I answer? Okay, I said that. It's right. Yes, it is. Okay, what could I have said more? Should I really say that? Should I have really said that? And things like that. But like, I'm in a bubble with myself, just thinking about myself and things like that. And this is quite egocentric, to be honest. Like, you, when someone asks you a question, it's about you, so most of the time, so you answer it. But like, I feel like you should be returning the question, and like, don't think about yourself during this moment, but like, think about the other one. Even more in a conversation where there's only two people, you know. But I really don't have this habit in my mind, in my behavior. Like, they ask me a question, I answer them, and I'm still in my bubble. Like, okay, did I say the right thing? Did I? And this blocked me from finding a question back that I could ask them. And the funny thing, when I realized that, is that I often say to my girlfriend that she's a little bit egoistic. And when I realized that my question, my why I don't have a good conversation with people is that because I'm probably more egocentric. I was like, oh fuck, I'm telling her that she's a little bit egocentric, but I am egocentric, and like it probably means that when I'm telling someone that this person have uh, um, a certain kind of default or something that is not good in their behavior, this is probably because I thought about this for myself. Like, if I'm telling her, my girlfriend, that she's a little bit egoistic, it means that I think I thought about the fact that I was or not egoistic. And like, right now, I am egoistic in my conversations. And so I'm like, oh fuck, the defaults I see in the other people's are my defaults. But I just don't realize that consciously. It's like really subconscious. And so when I realized all that like chain of thoughts that I had a conversation problem because I was egocentric, and I was telling her, my girlfriend, that she's egocentric, but it's really me that is egocentric, but I'm just projecting my egocentrism on the other people. When I realized that, I was like, oh fuck, it may happen in a lot of ways. Like, it may happen in a lot of all the problems I have, but I don't already realize them. And so I was like, it blew my mind to realize all of that. And so to come back to my conversation problem, I really have a conversation problem. I will try to get out of my head during a conversation, even with people that I don't know, and I will do my best to improve my conversational skills. But I have a problem at the beginning, which is that I really struggle to find questions and like to. It comes down to find an interest in other people, I think. Like, if I can't find a way to ask a question to someone, it means that in my mind, consciously or not, I don't know, they are less interesting than my thoughts about myself. Like, my mind has a choice, which is like, either you ask a question to the person in front of you, either you think about what you just did, what you just answered. And my mind, most of the time, choose to think about what I just did and what I just answered. Which means that the other hand, the fact that I could find an interest in other people is never very interesting. And like, this is my main problem, I think. So I'll try to improve that during the next weeks and like months. I don't know how long it will take. Sorry, but yeah, this is a problem I realized during this networking event I had, which makes me feel like an imposter, to be honest, because I was like, I'm just an intern. What am I doing here? And it was like really professional. Everyone was in suits with shirts, and like we're talking. Most of them had a real tie and things like that. And it was like somewhere chief executive officer, CEOs of the companies and things like that. And I was just an intern, an intern from France that is there just because he accepted a subject that was given to him and things like that. And it felt kind of weird, but it was great. It was great. Okay, then this was my second story. My third story actually happened during this weekend. So this weekend, Sorry, I just saw something fun on the street in front of me. So on Friday morning, I was asked, like before, probably Monday or Tuesday, my supervisor asked me, "Hey Maxime, what are you doing during this weekend? Do you have any plan?" And I was like, "Nope. I was just maybe planning to like visit the city even more and just go for a walk, take a day off of anything to just go to the city and walk and things like that." But like I told him no, I don't have any plan, and he told me, "Okay, right. Would you like to go on a kind of trip with me and two or three other colleagues from the office?" And like I was like, "Yes, of course, it will be great." So he started to explain me, "Okay, we will go there, we will go there, there. Okay, all right." And I was like, "Yes, amazing, let's do this." And so they organized all of that, and on Friday morning I had to leave Cardiff to go to Bristol to meet my supervisor and like start the trip. So I went there with three other colleagues. We take bus to go to Bristol, and we find back we find my supervisor and his partner, and we left. And we left to go to a beautiful castle. I I feel like it's not right. It's weird because my timeline on this day isn't clear. Like the castle, we were at the castle around 4 5 p.m. I think, but we left Bristol at 11, and I didn't feel like it it took that long to go to go to the castle. But like, okay, never mind. Let's keep going. We went to this castle on the afternoon. This beautiful red castle with a beautiful interior, like that was restored and really like it was in the period. So probably the 13th century, something like that, I think. And it was beautiful. The museum was beautiful. The gallery was beautiful because they had a gallery with a lot of art, pieces of art, and things like that. It was amazing. I have a lot of pictures about that you can find in my story right now, probably because I kept them and I didn't want to post them during the weekend. I wanted to post them at the moment of my podcast. So you can find them in my story actually. And we visited this. It was here that I found the foot that I took a picture of a foot, but like a big foot engraved in a stone in form of a Bigfoot, and I made a joke about it during the weekend. And this is where it was. It was at this beautiful castle, and so I went there. It was amazing, and then we kept like visiting Wales for for a view. Wales is on the west of the UK. It's all the part, all the bottom west part, southwest part of the UK, and so Bristol is oh fuck. We went from Bristol. You will find it on the map if you need. We went up to the castle. Then we went to so we went to the north. Then we went to the northwest. We found the sea here, and then at the end of the day, we went to the far west to join Holyhead. Holyhead is a little city. It's like the city on the most on the west of the UK, and so we slept there, and we went to visit a lighthouse. A lighthouse, the South State Lighthouse, something like that. This is the name. It was great. You will find all the pictures, all the videos in my story, obviously. It was great. Kind of afraid because we were very high and it was on a small island. So you just have like all the sea, like all this water around you. That was quite how to say that powerful, because it went against the rock of the island. It was like really powerful, a very great moment, but kind of afraid, kind of I was kind of afraid, because like you were not afraid, but like scary, because you were at the top of this lighthouse, and all you see around you was the sea. And yeah, great moment, a bit scary, but it was but great moment. And then, so this was on Saturday morning. We went on we slept at holiday, and on Saturday morning we left, and like we went to the south, but we kept following the sea. So we always had this view on our right, of the sea, and more the day was going, more the soleil was close. The soleil, wow, the sun was close to the sea, and at the end we had a beautiful sunset. It was amazing. We visited a lot of like monuments and things like that, a lot of cities and historical cities, um, with castles and things like that. Because obviously, when you're close to the sea, you have to protect the rivers and things like that. So you have to build a castle here. It was amazing. And at the end of the day, we uh, we stayed like an hour, something like that, at the beach when the sunset was setting. The sun was setting, and it was great to see. Like it's it really is the view that we see in the movies, where you have the sea in front of you, and the sun is gradually going down, 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 until it touches the sea, and it was amazing. Um, and yeah, we went on this road trip, and this road trip uh, really want I really wanted to go on a road trip with some friends. Like just we don't know where we are going. The project is we don't know where we're going, but we are going there, and only one person knows. It will be fun. Like you are like five in a car. One person knows, the driver knows where he's going, where they are going, but all the other ones doesn't. And like every time they see something interesting or on the map, they check it and they feel, oh, we could go there, and things like that. They will go there and just visit, so that you focus on the journey rather than just the destination. Or something else I think about would be like, for example, you take the plane to go up, for example, to the south of Italy, Italy, yes, just Italy. So you take a plane to go to the south of Italy, and the whole journey is to get back home. But when you get back home, you have to like you can visit and things like that, because this is all the this is all that matters. The journey to get back home is more important than the fact that you get back home. Like it, I really wanted to go on a road trip, and I want to go on a road trip. Not this summer, but really next summer, something like that, I think. And yeah, it will be great. And so this weekend, I went on a road trip with my colleagues. Um, it was amazing. I So I had to know. I knew them more. I learned a lot about them. Um, I talked a lot of in English. Obviously, we were together for like 48 hours straight. It was amazing. Yeah, great thing this road trip. I learned a lot about Wales, about them, about anything. I discovered a lot of things, and it's really a beautiful country, because Wales in the middle of Wales, there are a lot of mountains and things like that. And all the roads, there is no like highway in this part. Like the highway are connecting big cities, but not like they are making a circle, not a spider web. You know what I mean? It's not going in the middle. The highways are not in the middle. So the middle, it's only mountains, and you can go there and you see all these beautiful landscapes of mountains, ships, because there are a lot of ships in there, um, and you see a lot, and it was really amazing. And so yeah, I went on a road trip. It was great, really amazing, and I learned a lot about them. I learned a lot about the whales. I learned a lot about what I would like to do later in terms of travel and where do I want to live, because I think that UK is a beautiful country. I think like I would love to just go on a trip, but probably alone also, just visit everything, as my dad did. My dad was my dad had a bike for like since he was 16 to the, he's 50, something like that. So he had a bike. He had bikes during he had bikes during his whole life, and he did that trip around Wales, around Ireland, around UK, with his bike alone, and it was probably amazing because you have to see all these landscapes, all these cities with beautiful historical buildings and monuments, and it's really beautiful. And I think I would love to do this alone, just visit the country from top to bottom, from A to Z, just visit the country and gather all this kind of knowledge about this country. It will be amazing. So yeah, I went on a road trip and it was great. And this was my third story for this week. I told you it will be quite a big episode, because I knew last week I had all these events that were about to happen during the week. I haven't had another event that should have happened, but didn't at the end because it wasn't possible. On Wednesday, with my colleagues, we planned to go and like explore waterfalls around Cardiff. There is a spot known as the Four Waterfalls, where there are literally like you can go on a walk around there and you just like discover all these waterfalls. But we couldn't do it at the end because someone had an emergency about their family, so we couldn't go. But it would have been great. Anyway, it leads me to have a day off on Wednesday, so so it's okay. So yeah, great week. Really energetic. I had a lot of things to planned, and it was amazing. I don't know what I will do next week or this week, because we're already on Monday. But I hope I will have. I tell you, I will have a big. I promise you, next episode will be interesting, more interesting than the second one and the third one, because I feel like they were only there wasn't any story. There was just me talking about something. So next week will be really interesting. As much, I hope so, as much as this week episode. So yeah. So this week will only be in English. I hope you enjoyed the podcast and this episode. Tell me if you need a French version. I will do a French version for the next episode if you need to. tell me if you have any feedback on this episode, maybe on how I'm telling the story, maybe how I'm preparing, maybe the fact that the stories are not really interesting. Tell me anything. Tell me anything you find on the podcast. I really learn from your feedback for those who send me something. So tell me if you have any feedback to send me. I would love it. And I hope to see you next week. It was Unscripted. I love this podcast name, but it's not right because I'm telling something about. Ah, yeah, my life wasn't scripted, and the podcast is not scripted, so it's kind of right. So it was Unscripted, fourth episode. I hope you enjoyed listening to it, and I will see you next week. Bye.